ladies and gentlemen, it's Rob here for Digital Charcuterie, and I'm here to talk about Captain America: Brave New World, the new MCU movie, coming from the MCU, of course, and Disney and Marvel and all those people over there, from Kevin Feige. And this movie has been a little bit of a contentious topic as of late, especially with the reviews just dropping a little bit and kind of having some not terrible reviews, but just middling reviews a little bit. So I kind of just had my mind open a little bit, maybe set my expectations a little bit lower for this movie and thinking like, oh, maybe this movie will surprise me a little bit and I'll like it. Now, after having seen the movie, what I can say is it's not really good. I think even setting my expectations low a little bit, I kind of still didn't care for this movie all that much. Not because I thought it was a terrible movie or had really terrible parts of it. It was more that it was just middling. There's nothing really, really great about it, and there's nothing really terrible about it. It's not like the Marvel situation. So if you saw my review for the Marvels, and when I talk about that movie, I think that movie has two of the absolute worst scenes that an MC movie has ever done. I'm gonna say it right now. If you don't want to hear this, then just skip forward about 20 seconds. But that the cat swallowing scene, swallowing up all the people, and then also the music planet part of it. I thought those were absolutely terrible in it. But anyway, back to Captain America. I don't think it had anything terrible really about it. It was just kind of like it wasn't great. It was pitched as a Winter Soldier type of movie, like a political thriller, coming back to that type of movie. In my opinion, Captain America's best movie, Steve Rogers' Captain America's best movie. But as a result of it, I think it just kind of came off as a poor imitation of it. It was trying to be Winter Soldier and just copying way too much of it and then adding a couple other elements that just kind of didn't work. I understand completely why they tried to reshoot this movie. I don't know what the original movie would have looked like if it would have been worse. I don't know. I don't 100%, but I just see the stitching of like trying to stitch together the middle parts of this movie, especially Giancarlo Esposito's character. His character really just came off as, oh, he's going to be a cool character to kind of hang on to as a Sam Wilson Captain America villain. He's going to be a semi-recurring villain, I think, for that character a little bit, and that's what he was for. Because aside from that, this movie was almost a lot more of a Incredible Hulk sequel to that movie, more so than a Captain America movie. Like, don't get me wrong, Sam Wilson's Captain America is the lead character of the movie, but like kind of the biggest like plot points and the biggest character stuff lies, in my opinion, more with the Thaddeus Ross character than Sam Wilson. I mean, like, he has a lot more meaty stuff to go into a little bit. I'm not going to spoil it all here, but like his character, I think, is what the movie's even semi more about. Obviously, Sam has something that he's trying to accomplish in this movie and trying to get done and trying to stand on his own. But like, I think the more resonant stuff is in that character. And I don't know how much of that character got changed from the original version. There's a lot of talk about the original version being a little bit more Donald Trump-esque in Thaddeus Ross's character. But, either way, I'm just kind of sitting here just kind of wondering like where all this is coming from. And when I get back to like the political elements and what it's trying to replicate a little bit, it's also trying to like take from a sequel to Winter Soldier a little bit and take some elements of Civil War. And that's where I kind of get into the villain aspect of it and the leader. I was a little bit worried. I saw stuff like the Funko Pop of him. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this one because he's just in casual clothes, like a guy just hanging out in a warehouse, not particularly looking all that leader-esque. And that was part of the problem a little bit. I think it was, I'm going to get into a little bit of spoilers here about the leader. Okay, so if you don't want to hear anything about this whatsoever, then just jump forward like a minute or something like that. So I'm going to get into the leader right now. So if you don't want to hear it, I'm going to jump at that right now. The leader, he was just focused on mind control the whole movie. Like, I was done with mind control, I think, when Black Widow came out. I was like, oh, they did like a superior version of it in like something like Winter Soldier and Civil War with Bucky and the Winter Soldier character. And they even make points about the fact that it's like, oh, that's been done before. And then they just kind of lean on this kind of weak trope for what the leader's going to be doing, and that it's triggered with like either the flashes or that Mr. Blue song a little bit was kind of lame. And then add on to the fact that he has this, and this is another spoiler scene here. So if you don't want to hear this, just jump ahead again if you've already caught up. But he has a scene with on the phone with Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, where he's essentially being the Emperor, talking to Anakin and telling him to fuel his anger and fuel his rage. And of course, that makes sense with the Hulk characters and what you want them to do a little bit, but that just came off as really, really corny to me. And the fact that he's supposed to be this really smartest guy in the room, and he kind of has this weird little hissy fit throughout the movie as well. It was just kind of like he was a weak villain, like not the terrible villain, because they still did some cool stuff and they have a great actor performing as the leader, but it was really lacking something, and he didn't look good visually at all. I thought that his makeup for him to look like the leader was just kind of crummy, and then add on to the fact about what he's just wearing, like he does not look like a cool villain really at all. Like, and he was not written anywhere near as well as like someone who I'm comparing him to in Baron Zemo in Civil War. That character was done far superiorly well than the leader. But anyway, I think like my main criticism with it is like, that's the problem. It's just trying to be something else and not establishing itself as much as it wants to be. Like the spoiler stuff is gone now. I'm not going to be talking any more spoiler stuff. So if you're worried about that, I'm not going to talk about it. But anyway, that's what the Brave New World just kind of fell apart as. Like it's just the strength of the movie is kind of like the relationship and pseudo friendship, but the 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 different ideologies between Sam Wilson's Captain America and Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, the things that they want to do. That's really the strength of the movie. It's at that part, but it's just how they get there, and like the middle part of it was just kind of felt, like I said earlier, very stitched together. There was some very weak parts about that just kind of bothered me a little bit. But yeah, like the end, like I think they had themselves a pretty solid third act, and I was really happy with the third act for the most part. It was just, yeah, it's really became obvious to me that this movie was just cut together and mixed together with all these extra stuff just to create a coherent movie. And like I said, and one of the things that some of the reviews have been talking about is Harrison Ford's performance and Anthony Mackie's performance. They're both quite good, but I think in particular Harrison Ford was really great as Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross in this movie. That's one of the things that come to it. And for you guys who have maybe not seen the movie yet and are hoping for this big, huge post-credit scene, it's not that at all. You only get one, and it's at the end of the credits, and it's really not all that great. It's just kind of there and points the way and doesn't do anything mind-blowing at all. But anyway, so these are kind of my thoughts. If I'm kind of sitting on like a score a little bit here, I think I'm at about a 2.5 out of 5. Like it's the weakest Captain America movie for sure. And, for a movie that was supposed to really make Sam Wilson's Captain America stand up and be something to love in this newer phase of MCU movies, it really didn't do that to me at all. I think it was just kind of hindered by a lot of different things. And just like I said, in a lot of ways, Thunderbolt Ross kind of outshined Sam Wilson in this movie. But anyway, those are my thoughts a little bit there. And you can hear if you guys have your own thoughts in the comment section, then just comment them below. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from the people that actually love this movie, because that was not the case for me really at all. I think that movie had a lot of really strong things in it, including a great third act, but that's kind of about it for me. Where my very big highlights are, or good moments of this movie. There's nothing really great about this movie. Like I said, it's just filled with some good moments, some bad moments, and some bad stuff. Trying to make a really great movie, or a good movie even, at least. And that kind of just hindered it a little bit. But anyway, those are my thoughts. If you want to see more from me, I'm sure we'll be doing more videos for on digital charcuterie coming up, as well as I'm sure talking about more Captain America. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff at Robert E. McDonald, or on my letterbox, which I also wrote a little mini review pointing the way to us here at Digital Charcuterie to see this video. And over there on letterbox, you can find me at Nightwing with a 6 instead of a G. But anyway, that's all for me. And may the force be with you always. That's more of the Rebel Scum thing, but either way. Cheers, guys. See ya.